Well, he's a battle-tested, decorated Army sergeant who risked his life to protect our country. But it's a more personal risk he took that's getting a lot of attention tonight. Staff Sergeant Jesse Knott rescued this cat while in Afghanistan. However, getting Koshka safely home to Oregon City truly turned out to be a dangerous operation. KPTV's Kate Cagle joins us now live to explain why so many people's lives were on the line. Kate?
Shauna, after tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, Staff Sergeant Jesse Knott is currently stationed in Washington. I spoke to him via FaceTime. After 8 years in the military, Staff Sergeant Jesse Knott has memories most civilians can't imagine. The fatigue of fighting a long war in a strange land where a feral cat like Koshka is seen as nothing more than a remedy for mouse problems.
He was showing some signs that people weren't taking really good care of him. I found paint in his fur a couple of times, and then people took a pair of clippers and shaved his back.
So even though soldiers are not allowed to have pets, Staff Sergeant Knott made room for Koshka in his tiny office. In the middle of fighting a war, the cat was a reminder of his life back home in Oregon City.
You lose faith in a lot, but sometimes it's the smallest things bring you back.
A lesson Knott took to heart on December 8, 2011, when a suicide bomber targeted a military convoy.
I was so devastated. I lost all hope that two of my friends were just violently taken away.
Sergeant Knott was crying in his office when Koshka came over and crawled into his lap.
I'd lost hope in myself. I'd lost faith. And all of a sudden, this cat comes over and just reminds me that you are you.
And in that moment, he realized Koshka could not stay in Afghanistan.
He pulled me out of one of my darkest times, so I had to pull him out of one of his darkest places.
Unable to get Koshka on a military convoy, a local interpreter bravely said he'd take the cat to Kabul. If the Taliban caught the Afghan doing an American a favor, it could mean death.
The risk to him was immense. I mean, this is a cat with a bright purple collar in a American manufactured cat carrier going halfway across Afghanistan, going through God knows how many Taliban checkpoints along Highway 1.
It took weeks to hear back, but eventually Koshka made it there safe. Once in Kabul, Staff Sergeant Knott's parents paid for a flight to bring the cat here to Oregon. For almost $3,000, Koshka traveled from Afghanistan to Islamabad, Pakistan, then to New York, then to Portland. To the Knott family, it was a small price to pay.
He was my saving grace. He kept me alive through that tour.
Staff Sergeant Knott has nerve damage from his service in Iraq, and though he is still stationed in Washington, he will be getting out of the military soon. Whenever he gets the chance, he's down in Oregon City visiting Koshka. Reporting live, I'm Kate Cagle, the 10 o'clock news.